Imagine for a second that you're born into a world where your chance of actually surviving is less than 1%. Well, today, we're not just going to talk about a saltwater crocodile. We're going to become one to really understand its incredible and, incredibly brutal life story from the very beginning to the very end. Okay, so you've just busted out of your shell. You're in a muddy swamp somewhere in northern Australia. The world is brand new and literally everything wants to eat you. So, what do you think? What are your chances of making it?
Yeah, less than 1%. That's it. The odds are just overwhelmingly, terrifyingly stacked against you from the very first second you're alive. It's got to be one of the harshest welcomes in the entire animal kingdom.
But you're different. You're one of the lucky few. You're a survivor. And this is the story of how you beat those impossible odds to become a king. It all starts in the first few minutes, in this chaotic, desperate scramble for survival that, let's be honest, most of your family is not going to win. Picture this. You hatch, and you're not alone. You've got about 40 siblings right there with you. All of a sudden, this giant shadow looms over you. But wait, it's your mom. And she gently, so gently, scoops you into a terrifying jaws to carry you to the water. But the swamp, it's like an open buffet. Goannas, sea eagles, huge fish, they all descend at once. It's just a blur of violence. And in those first few minutes, 80% of your siblings are just gone.
You made it to the water. Deep breath, right? Wrong. The fight has only just begun. Now comes the hard part, learning how to survive day in and out in a world that sees you as a snack.
As a juvenile, your life is, well, it's a constant grind. You're hunting anything small enough to cram in your mouth. We're talking bugs, tadpoles, the tiniest fish you can find. You stake out a little patch of riverbank and you defend it with everything you've got, even from your own brothers and sisters. Every single day is just this endless cycle of trying to find food while trying not to become food.
But you have a secret weapon, a superpower, really. Your skin is covered in these thousands of tiny, super sensitive dots. Think of it like a built-in surveillance system. These little organs let you feel the absolute slightest vibration in the water from over 60 feet away. So you can feel a meal coming and you can feel a threat coming, all in that murky water.
And things get even worse. The dry season hits. The swamp shrinks down to these crowded, muddy pools. Food is so scarce that you end up fighting your own brother for a single, tiny fish. And you're so weak, you can't even fight back when he snatches it right from your jaws. It's just a desperate, humbling time.
You survive. And after 2 years, you've grown. And you'd think that's a good thing, right? Well, that very growth, the thing that kept you alive, now presents a brand new life or death problem. You've got to make a big change.
See, you're caught in this dangerous middle ground. At 6.5 feet long, you're way too big to hide effectively anymore, but you are nowhere near big enough to take on the massive adult crocs. You're basically a walking target. Staying in your mom's territory is just asking for trouble. It's time to go.
Now, this is what makes your species so incredible. You can survive in the open ocean. You have these specialized glands on your tongue that get rid of excess salt, so you can travel for hundreds of kilometers across the sea. Your goal isn't to find paradise. You're looking for a quiet, kind of terrible place. A salty river with hardly any fish. A place that the bigger, stronger crocodiles just ignore. It's your safe haven.
So you spend the next 12 years in that quiet refuge, just growing bigger, getting stronger. And now, at age 15, you're done hiding. You've finally reached maturity. You're 13 feet long. You weigh 1,000 pounds. And the tiny fish in your quiet little river, they're just not going to cut it anymore. You can feel the pull of those richer territories nearby, but they're all taken by massive, veteran crocs. It is time for a takeover. So you find a scarred-up veteran and you challenge him for his prime stretch of river. It starts with this intense standoff, all gaping jaws and swishing tails, a pure display of power. Then, bam, the fight just explodes. It is a brutal, thrashing, biting chaos. And finally, with one powerful, decisive bite, you overpower him. The old king retreats, and the river and all the food in it is now yours.
Just like that, your whole life transforms. I mean, it is a complete upgrade. Gone are the days of chasing bugs and tiny frogs. Your new menu includes wild boar, gazelle, even sharks you snag on your trips out to sea. You're not just a survivor anymore. You're a ruler.
Of course, with a prime territory like this, the cycle of survival continues. Females are drawn to your kingdom, and they undertake their own grueling journey. A female will build a nest, lay up to 50 eggs, and then she has to endure an 80-day vigil, relentlessly fighting off predators to protect her own legacy. A legacy where, you guessed it, less than 1% of her babies will survive.
By age 20, you are an absolute monster, the largest living reptile on Earth. We're talking 20 feet long, weighing over 2,200 pounds. Your body is just a perfect engine of domination, and your bite force, a staggering 3,700 psi. No one dares challenge you. This is it, the absolute peak of your power.
But no reign lasts forever. Decades pass, and while you actually keep growing, the slow, inevitable decline begins.
You spend decades as the undisputed king, eventually reaching a colossal 23 feet. But by the time you hit age 70, well, time has started to take its toll. Your once razor-sharp reflexes are getting dull. Your teeth are worn down from a lifetime of crushing bone. That explosive speed you had, it's gone.
Now, when you lunge for a water buffalo at the river's edge, you're just a fraction of a second too slow. The prey senses you, it turns, and it gets away. Your body just can't execute what your ancient instincts are screaming at it to do. You're forced to scavenge for scraps left behind by younger crocodiles.
And then, one day, it happens. A massive, young male, unscarred and full of power, enters your territory. He's basically you, from 50 years ago. You face off, but there's no real contest this time. The fight is brutal, and it's quick. And just like that, your long, dominant reign is finally over.
Here's the thing to remember. Just making it to this age, that is its own incredible victory. It's a testament to a lifetime of beating impossible odds. Of all the crocodile species, only yours can live this long. Getting this far wasn't just about strength. It was about incredible, unbelievable luck.
So, you lost your kingdom, but you absolutely won the game of survival. And as one king falls, you know another one is rising from that tiny fraction of a percent. The brutal, violent, and magnificent cycle of the swamp, it never, ever ends. The only question is, who's next?